All right, thank you for joining. Today I wanted to go over Solana USDT on the Binance chart. And as you can see, we are currently getting rejected off of the weekly level, which sat at $197. The next area for support is currently $138.90. That is the weekly level. That's also the 382 fib, I believe, or a zero point 0.5. Let's see. That is a 0.5 fib. So confluence level here as support. Price did get rejected off that level multiple times before breaking through and backtesting that level as support before continuing higher. So this will be a very quick and very straightforward video. As of right now, I would not be looking to long Solana. I'll be looking at short positions targeting this level below. Right now, obviously, if you were to go ahead and pull some fibs, you do have the golden pocket lining up at around $160. So if we go ahead and zoom in a little bit more locally, we can see if there's any structure around that area. And there is a little bit of a structure here. As you can see, there's a pivot low on the 4-hour time frame, which lines up with the golden pocket. So that is a swing failure level. So I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert at that level, just because that is an interesting area to then look for a long, even though the best area would be this weekly level at $136. So in my mind, I believe we will get a sell-off at least down to the 160. If that fails, we will be targeting 136. And after looking at this chart, it looks like there is a potential additional confluence level with this trend line right here, right? Pivot low, and it wouldn't surprise me if price was to actually come down, tap this level, sweep the low, reclaim it, and then move higher, right? Let me go ahead and make that a little bit cleaner. So from these levels, comes down, finds support, sweeps the level, reclaims that level, and continues to move higher, right? So this seems like the most probable outcome, in my opinion, especially since Bitcoin is looking a little bit more bearish than bullish lately. I would expect to see this kind of price action from Solana, right? And like I said, if we do lose this level, then the next area for support would be the weekly, right? Touch it there, might lose it, sweep it, before possibly reclaiming this level and continuing higher, right? So this is very straightforward with Solana. There's not really much else to say. I wouldn't long here, I wouldn't short here, even though this is technically a demand zone currently, right? You could technically get a bounce here, because if we do zoom in a little bit more locally, you can see this was the, let's go ahead and pull this down. This was the supply, tried to break through, fell back down, broke through, back tested as support. So we could get a little bounce right here, but the best area in my opinion would be at least here at around $160. And if that fails, the best one would be 136. You know, Solana is very strong, but right now with the market looking pretty bearish, we would have to see exactly what happens. But at the same time, as I pulled that last trend line, you can see it is reacting off this horizontal support and diagonal trend line support as well. So this is a double confluence area. So we could get another push up. Maybe price goes up and takes this high one more time as a swing failure before the real correction begins, right? So no one really knows exactly how price action will turn out, but at this very moment, taking back kind of what I said earlier without zooming in. That's why you always should also zoom in when you're looking at a trade, especially when you're going to enter a trade. You want to zoom in. So if you really are a little bit more of an aggressive trader, yes, you can enter a long position here, right? Not the best RR, targeting the highs about 8% away. Stop loss would be 5%. A risk reward is just below 2 to 1. Not the best, but if you really wanted to go ahead and give it a try, you can. But like I said before, the best areas would be at least down here, the golden pocket. And if that fails, then you would be looking for a long right here. So if you manage your position correctly throughout this entire down swing here, if you lose this, that's 1%. Lose this, that's 2%. And then if you happen to enter here, you'd basically lose 2% to possibly, if Solana goes back up to these highs, which it obviously will, in my opinion, you will be looking at a 50% gain, right? So let's see here. Yeah, 15 to 1 RR, which is amazing. So you'd risk 2% on each entry to possibly get 50%, right? So that's amazing. And if you do get a bounce here, right, same thing, you'd risk technically 1% to then get 25% increase in price. So that's pretty much it with Solana. Still bullish, could get a pullback. Prepare for both, or use your stop losses. Follow me on X, and have a great day. Enjoy your weekend.